My name is Jessica Holyfield, and I'm a professional dance choreographer and dance educator based out of the southeast of the United States, and we're here taking a look at RIIZE's track Fame. Now you're going to notice that the music video will not be showing up on the review. That is because it got blocked in the United States by combining the dance practice and music video together, so the MV will be available for free on Patreon. You can go and enjoy that. It'll be the full review there, but for this, just know I'll be looking at the dance practice as well as the review and talking through the choreography there. I'm ready. Let's go ahead and get into it. Dance practice is here. We are ready to watch. I really like the contrast of speed changes to the feature. Nice. Ooh, wow. Change up the tone, yep. Yeah. That was syncopated on tone. Yeah. Hey, that was sick. Feature control in the shoulders. Yeah. Yep. Come on. It's an earworm. Yeah. It's so interesting how this is resonating in composition, especially in the times that we're in. And what I mean by that is I just recently looked at Formula with Alpha Drive 1, and the format of the content had similar switches in play, not in any way talking about plagiarism or even interpolation, not at all. More so in the line of, is this a trend of the type of choreography we're seeing within the boy group's landscape, possibly? And we have RIIZE as an even number, and we, a lot of us who have been a part of their journey know why. And there were certain things happening in this choreography that are very similar to the notes that I gave Aldi's. So we're gonna actually go through it. This looked like a content focus. I freaking love the speed change of it. I love the choreography of it, if I'm being completely honest. I love it. Also, this whole beginning is so somber. They don't really love me. And it's just interesting hearing that as the very first phrase coming from a group like RIIZE, who has gone through what they went through with their fan base. And those who know. Where it's it's just very thought provoking, and it's registering deeper to me than just a typical surface level group that I would be exposed to. So that's just kind of what is settling to me right now as I'm looking at it as well. So the pickup there was really cool with the lifts of the arms still in control, speed change, playing with the speed. You also have your member being super subtle in his approach to keeping him as a feature by not moving barely at all. Everybody else is glitching out, which is really cool. And then they have it balanced. I love the slow walk out of this. And then they hold it up, little 3-step turn. Now we're in a circle. So we know quite clearly this is a 6-member group, and we're not going to go to 7. However, so far, what I'm seeing here is that this is catered to a 7-member situation, and I don't believe that's ever going to happen, which I truly believe is unfortunate. So this would be a sincere note that I would give that I think could just help in general, is learning more creative ways to make the even number look even and not look like we're always missing somebody when you're dealing with 1-point features. There's a way to do it. There's many groups that I could name, Astro just off the top, that showcased a fantastic example of that. And I gave the same exact note to Aldi today about it. So I like the knock on the knee as I take it, transition around. That's going to be a big note I'm giving, especially because of the sensitivity of the group over the years. We need to have closure. Part of the closure is closing off the formation and make it look like it's made for 6 people. I think that's where I'm coming at it from. The pulse on it's cool. The rotation around, speed change, this is freaking sick. I love that. Content-wise, filthy. We absolutely adore this. I like the direction of it. It's very physically demanding, though, so I'm curious about the live vocals on it. This mess ain't easy at all. They're truly capable to do it. Of course, especially, out the gate they did Siren, which is a really difficult dance to cover in general, especially projecting vocally. So I'm not surprised that they can do it. Not at all. I really like how nuanced the textures are, and that you normally wouldn't see them in this type of structure. They punch it through, dun dun da da da, and like the fullness on the arms. Doesn't look like we cut them off or anything, which is impressive there. The run, this trace around, I really like the lingering effect of that. Is really cool. Then they do a nice little pepper, not really a pepper seed, but if you would do like the pepper seed move, that intention with the shoulder would be really nice to contribute there, which is what they do. The pull in is nice. They do a little crossover. They ball change it, and I like the pull tension out of it. They rotate it, 3-step turn. New feature, he rotates in. So we have little pose, he grabs in. I like the wrist rotation, pull down is nice. We open it up, tossing it to the inside. He goes head nod. And then we're hiding somebody directly in back. Same, if you've seen any of my reviews with even number groups, that's going to be something. It does not matter if you're a rookie group, does not matter if you're established. If you're more established, people don't extend as much grace. Should that be that case? Personally, no, because we're all human at the end of the day. And everything I'm touching on really doesn't have anything to do with the group itself, unless they were the part of the choreography process, but that's a different conversation entirely. This should not be happening. We should not be having somebody hidden unless it is specifically for a function feature, meaning that they are going to be revealed, and by hiding them helps with the surprise element of unpredictability. Let's see if that's the case. So I like to open it up. So technically, I would say he helps functionally with providing a level to contribute to feature. We'll give him that. And then it functions out. So this, I would say, total pass. Absolutely fine as to why he was back there, and he wasn't there for longer than an 8 count, and it was functional the whole time. This is a great example of that. The sways are really nice, and I really like the different directions on that too. It's super cool. We take it, doom, doom, also really nice. They pull up on the arms, a little clap, clap down, lifts up, good tension. They hit it. Gosh, man, this is dense. And then they end up traveling it up. Really good range across the board, meaning that how everybody is executing it, not just in hitting the timings and hitting where they're going in the music, but the distance between those hits and how they're choosing to do it in speed. Looks great. I like the toss on that with the sway. Toss down is nice. And then that cause your next feature to move forward to help create a fun frame out of it. They pull it in, da-da-da-da, and I really like the accent of the elbows to help create a nice little swivel or swing with the torso to get you to rotate around. So we have a little bounce down. I really like the pocket change, meaning your timing change. So we hit it down, and I like the syncopation on the boom, 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 going outside the pocket. We sway those arms. More elbow focus than the shoulder like we saw earlier. We have our little ring moment. Bring it up, pull it in, good tension. All that is great. We go do-do-do-do. We hit it through, send it out. I like the toe heel. Toe heel is also really nice. Yep. And then we hit it up and around. And then we are doing another little catty corner in the back. They hit it low, and then we have a switch off at a different level, and we switch it up. We swing that arm, not really swing, but we travel that arm through the inside, sending it up, and then we have a little send off with the transition. We have somebody directly behind. Is it functional? The first time we clocked it in that way, it was. Let's see if it is here, or if we're just compensating for symmetry. I like the breath on that. We send it in. We hit, interruption is nice. We toss it away. And then he ends up getting revealed. So that one, you could have, had a different way to get him featured and not have to compromise his focus in that. But also, we're picking our battles. Like, that's okay. Yeah. They hit it up, the hop is nice, and then we go nice little punch down. It definitely sits and settles in the tone very well, especially for the day and age that we are in. This kind of move definitely has, like, we're sitting, the pocket, meaning the type of timing or the type of groove, this type of aesthetic works well based on the other context of the other fashion choices and the song structure, all of those things. Swim down is nice, and then we end up traveling it around. Now this course, it reminisces very similar to how Formula did with Aldi. And what I mean by this is not just in content, right? Just in the familiarity of the style hybrid that we're seeing, but it's also the unison of it. The swing around. But that's, I'm going to say, more so an observation to the TikTok social media landscape that we're in, where you want it to be something that people cover. And so eliminating heavy dynamics or level changes or over complexity through not outside of content is kind of the trend I've been seeing a lot in the Gen 5 space. Do I wish that was that way? No. However, that section is disgusting. I love that part so much because what he does is he takes it, he has it framed in his hands, and he controls their shoulders. That was awesome. I loved that. It's probably my favorite part of the whole thing. This right here, watch. They punch it in, they switch, come on, and then we have nice footwork, and then they hit it with the head to expand it out. They clap it back, they send it out, and then they end up taking it nice and traveling it around. We take the head to the inside, open it up. So now we are, spreading it out. We're condensing it in with half the group, and then we bring it up. That name, and then we have another little reveal in the back. They switch and bring it up. That shout, we have a rotation going in. More name, and then we have somebody hidden. Is he going to be revealed in the back? So far, we're 2 for 2. Let's see if it's where you got a third. Nope, he was just hidden there. Okay. And they bring it ring and ring. They hit, and then they bring it in, like not little hits and folks, but in that kind of sentiment. And then we have a nice little bounce out of it. Little hop is nice. Traveling it down. Swim it down. Toss it down. Switch. Syncopated. I like that. We got it all switched different directions. Really cool. I bet for an extended stage, you'd be able to see that in a really cool way. We punch it out. Hit. And I like the accents for that. Toss it around. We rotate it up. We point it. About to have a controlling moment. He goes rotate. We're already sensitive to the shoulders getting controlled because of the chorus. So seeing that there was a really nice addition or a different way of interpreting something similar we've been exposed to. Super sick. We toss it away. Nice little moment out of it. We pull it in. Like the tap. We pull it to the, we pull it outward and then we send it back. I like the pull little arrow. I like the different levels. That was really nice to see there. I would say that with the course, I would have liked to have seen a level or two more, but I also understand why we don't see levels because of what I had just talked about whenever we covered the course. The hinge around is cool. He sends it over. And also we already kind of saw him entertain that kinespheric kind of pull with the arms with his moment from here, and then he expanded it. So having the arm swing is fun. I like the little, the sway with that sternum is also really nice. We have the tension out of it, which is nice. Head rotation is cool. Punch it in, go up, and we run it. And then we have a nice little you can't see me moment. And then we pick up the foot. We have a little rotation happening with the heel and then the toe of the other foot. So that's cool. And then we, instead of doing it on both sides like what we normally do, we end up taking it and turning it into a pony, which is more of like a ball change variant. And when they brush it down, we send it back. And so we just have same content, but we're just messing with spacing. It's cool. And then we go tap, tap is nice. We take it, we send a nice little body roll of tension out of it. When I say the beginning was so captivating, I really loved the contrast of the speed changes because it added really cool breath to our digestion of it. And it provided really cool opportunities to still be subtle in a feature moment, but it still was so clear for us to know who to focus on. So we don't really have that as much in the rest of it. It was really just the intro and first verse. Which is, once again, fine, but you know, just like whenever you're writing an essay, you want things to be cohesive, and sometimes reintroducing concepts or ideas, not in a sense of recycling or to remanufacture or to be lazy, but in a way to imprint your concept in justification, though that would be, you know, a component you could look at. Now, you don't have to do that. Remember, this is subjective at the end of the day. My opinion is one of 75,000 you could listen to, and that's fine. And I'm not married to it, and I said that all the time. And I'm just a stepping stone and supplement, maybe as to why you may feel a certain way about the choreography. This is just what I'm picking up on an observation. So the little uppercut there, the hop is really cool. The little hit, we've already seen that entertain. So this structure too, we only have 2 choruses. It looks like 2 verses and then maybe an outro, if that. So it does feel, even though it's a 3-minute track, still feels a bit short-lived compared to a typical song structure that I know for myself I'm normally used to, which is fine. So they swim it. And then I like the heel-toe transition. A lot of times you'd see that heel-toe in a James Brown or something similar to that, but it didn't give that impression in context. I liked how it was varied on this, though. They swing it down, hit, 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 and then we go sway, sway, or lean it, and then we have the tension on the tail end of it. We cross it back, and then you have the where you, and I like that we have the switch on the hands again, and then we knock the head. We clap it, rotate it, we send it on the head there. Bringing it in, shoulder, shoulders, and then we have it facing towards the side. Then we swivel, whoa, nah. And so we do another space out thing. So something I'm noticing is we are recycling, keeping your content in unison, which is, this is the second time in 24 hours that I've clocked this on a Gen 5 group. And we're just using like a space out situation. That can affect digestibility, and it can make it look like we're taking the easy way out, or we're not really applying ourselves in certain areas because we focused our time in content and not in how we're choosing to frame the content for your audience. And I'll touch on like probably why I think I'm a little more sensitive to it with RIIZE whenever we get to the end. And I've really touched on it throughout this, but I'll be very clear and straightforward as to why I'm trying to process through it too. They cross it over and the punch uppercut there. Yeah, I'm up 4, so it's still unison. It's still cool. They're clean. They have really nice fullness together. No one looks like they're, you know, getting drugged behind in it. So it's really nice and full. I love the direction change on it. But do we run the risk of it looking like one big combo? Yes. Which is fun in dance class, but it can affect how it resonates or it sticks with you, where there's not a lot of chewing moments outside of, you know, certain content, which if the content's enough, and it just depends on the eye of the beholder too. But they did end up bookending on speed change, which is what we see here, so I do like that. But then we take it in, sending it out, bringing it through, they hit it through, and then now it turns into an add-on. Notice we didn't really have add-ons or ripples or anything like that throughout. We just had content and we spaced it out. We had a feature reveal from the back. We did some framing with levels. But the common thing that we were saying was you take it and then you have 2 people expand out or expand in like this. And then you had your feature center. But I liked seeing that. I wish I saw more dynamics like that, which that was what it is, where you do space and time modification. So that little pull in is really cool. And then they hit it, and then you have the bass and. That's so freaking polyrhythmic. That's dope. Where they rebound off the heel with the switch off on the upper body. That's sick. That is sick. So they hit it through, they rotate it, and now it looks like we have these partner moments, but I'm not quite clear on what the staging is or what the formation is. Is it a line, and they're supposed to be up more, but they're not, and they had to consolidate it because they can't go past this tape line. I don't know. They cross it through, then like the hop out of it is nice, toss it away, and then we have a fun little finish. Okay. So my particular reason, and I wonder how many of you guys feel this way, and I would love to hear it in the comments, your thoughts. I'm sensitive to this group not having creative formation changes for a group of 6 because there was such a long period of time where they were teasing bringing their 7th member back. And so a lot of their choreographies instilled hope. I know for me, when I was reviewing, it gave that impression to me. And so now knowing, like we all know, that ain't happening anymore, right? Because of the whole, there's new trends. When people don't like certain things, they have these liberties they want to try for because they like having that type of power. And that's a completely side topic we're not going to get into. But my point is this: for a group like RIIZE, who's dealt with the situations that they've dealt with, as somebody who's a performance director or choreographer, for me, my priority would be making sure that we get the formations in a way that it is clear as day that we are operating as a group of 6. Unless they want this to be known that they've always wanted to stay as a group of 7, which I would be surprised if that wasn't the case, and this is their form of kind of rebelling against what ended up happening. I don't know, but those are kind of just my shower thoughts on it. I'm really sensitive to their formations out of any group I've seen. Also, too, they're the very first Gen 5 group I've ever reviewed on the Jess review side. So they have like a sentimental place for me as well, where I caught them at debut and I was really excited. And so that's why I really want there to be, really cool progressions, or I don't know. There's just the song itself is sitting heavily on me. I don't know why, but some of the lyrics or just some of the, the visuals of it, and then also knowing context of what I've seen, from the media side, it's just hard to not read into it. So that's why I definitely want to hear from RIIZE. And yeah, like I thoroughly enjoyed the content of this, right? But I'm going to give it the same exact notes that I gave Formula, which is if you're choosing to cover somebody up in the back, it needs to be functional. And they did do that for some of the choices. But yeah, that's pretty much it. You guys know me, I know you. I'm Jess, and I will catch you guys on the flip side. Bye.